And big news from NASA last week. On Friday, the organization announced it plans to return Crew 11 back to Earth next week. The crew was in the middle of a trip to the International Space Station when a crew member suffered a medical issue. NASA has not shared any details about that medical issue, but here to discuss this with us is retired commander of the International Space Station, Leroy Chiao. Leroy, thank you so much for your time today. We obviously don't want to speculate about the status of any of the crew members, but during your time with NASA, was there ever a situation like this that required a crew to return home early?
No, during human spaceflight over the decades, we have experienced medical events in all phases of flight, launch and ascent, descent and entry, and of course on orbit operations. But we've never had a situation where we've had to terminate a mission early and bring the crew home. Now, historically, the Russians have had a few issues like that, not very many, just one or two. But when you fly long duration missions, this is the kind of thing that could happen, or will happen, I should say, because although we're very well medically screened and examined before flight, some kind of a medical issue can crop up. Yeah. And we're pretty well equipped to deal with it. We've got extensive training, we've got a lot of resources on board, and of course we can talk to the doctors on the ground. We can even send scans down. And so I think out of an abundance of caution, NASA is bringing back the crew a little bit early.
Could you tell us what goes into a decision like this to bring a crew home early? What kind of logistical issues is NASA facing right now?
Well, sure. There's a traffic model of all vehicles going up and down from the station, and this throws a little bit of a wrench into that. But really, it's not too bad. Looks like they'll be coming home just a month or two early, and some operations will be disrupted, but the planning team is excellent, and they'll be able to compensate for that. But they're all going to get into the spacecraft they went up in, and so that the idea is to bring them all back, because the spacecraft you go up in is your lifeboat per se. If you ever had to evacuate for an emergency or for a medical issue like this, you would all come down together, and so that's the plan. It's not going to be a stress for operations or the teams, but it's going to be very deliberate, and it shouldn't be an issue.
Okay, thank you so much. We're certainly hoping for a speedy and safe return for those astronauts. Leroy Chiao, we appreciate your insight today. Once again, thanks for joining us on CBS News 24/7.